Anything else happen today that I should that the three of us and might be interested in? Like anything else going on? Something released or dropped earlier today, maybe that people might be interested in? I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
I don't know. I know they had a pre-order a while back, so I don't know. Other than that,
Obviously, we're alluding to the latest Figura Obscura release dropped by the Four Horsemen earlier today. Um, the I saw the post and got the email with like the Christmas present yesterday. Letting us know that there was going to be a Figura Obscura drop. I was pretty surprised, to be honest with you. I mean, I didn't. We just had the Headless Horseman. Right around I guess Halloween time or whatever it was. So I was not expecting another one. I mean, were you guys surprised when I assume you both saw that yesterday? What was your reaction?
You want to go first?
man. Well, in true Four Horsemen style, I can't say that I was surprised at all. A little bit taken back. Simply from the fact that I mean, we just all came back from Legion's Con. I mean, I know it was one hell of an expense for myself to fly out from California, hotel, airfare, the whole nine, and then the expense of the entire weekend. Which I mean, we all spent way too much money at that con.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Um, you know, the Necronominus, drop and the pre-order being up, uh, and with everything else coming back and trying to regain our composure and settle up on bills and rents and mortgages and this and that, and then they drop this on us, and it's like, oh man, come on guys. Like, I mean, it's sometimes it's just too much, man. But I mean, it's like, I mean, they know we're loyal to them, and we're gonna keep buying their stuff. And I mean, it's just like, when are you guys gonna give us a break? I mean, we all need a break sometimes. I know a lot of people completely passed on this because it's just one of those things that, I mean, it's just too much too soon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot. Go ahead, go ahead, Ron. I have some thoughts on that too, but I'd like to hear what your initial reaction was.
Well, I mean, I felt personally attacked. Well, not me, my wallet, because they just want all of my money. And obviously I'm kidding. I thought it was I completely forgot about it because we had like he Eric just said we just got the headless horseman. So I was taken back for sure. And the biggest thing was I was hoping it just wasn't $120 again. So I was hoping it was more of like a standard figure price,
Yeah,
which it was, and I
yeah.
appreciated the hell out of that.
I was really surprised at the price, and really thankful for the price.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it was attainable. With that price, it was very attainable. I mean, I like I said, I couldn't bark at the price at all, especially with what's coming with that new figure. It's beautiful, man. It's really beautiful, and yeah,
Yeah, and we'll get into some photos and stuff in a second. Like I said, I was just surprised that they were coming out with something so quickly. I mean, there was the Figura Obscura Headless Horseman release just a couple months ago. Then, like Eric said, we had Legion's Con and the Necronominus reveal. That pre-order's ongoing right now. So I was never expecting this at all, but I'm really excited about the whole Figura Obscura thing, just because we don't really like have any idea what's coming next. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, we got the idea of like, the area they're kind of going into, um, but you really don't know when it's going to drop. Excuse me, when it's going to what the character is going to be or anything else. Um, and I love that. I love the surprise. I mean, I no matter what they do, people are never going to be 100% happy. You know what I mean? Like, but I feel like there's a really good mix. For me, at least, my opinion is I love the fact that they have the full Legions waves where you have a very long pre-order. You have plenty of time to decide what you want to pre-order and get in with the best price you're going to get, and then you just have to wait, for it to be made for a year, a little over a year, whatever it's going to be. But then they still do these surprise drops where it comes out of nowhere, it drops. They do their best to make sure everybody has a shot at it, at least, because there's a drop in the morning and a drop at night. And, we should be seeing these guys theoretically before the holidays. I think that's awesome. I understand it's a lot, right in a row as far as hitting our pocketbooks. But I'm trying to tell myself, like, it's easy to say, right? Like, I try to say, like, well, you don't have to get everything. Just because it's released doesn't mean you have to get it. I haven't been very good at practicing what I preach in that regard. Once I started doing all-ins on the regular waves, dude, I've done all-ins for everything they've released for more than a year. You know what I mean? Um, and then I was like, even Necronominus, I don't need to go all in with it. I can pick and choose. I can probably pick anything else that I didn't pre-order up at shows or whatever. But I don't know. I keep looking. I'm like, I'll probably just do an all in with that too. Um, but leaving that aside, once the once the it popped up yesterday, um, for the Figura Obscura release for today, um, I was thinking that it had to be some kind of Santa related item or whatever. And I thought they would go like a Mjolnir, like, European mythological version. And I guess they leaned into that a little bit, but man, they went really traditional, I felt like. So let me see here if I can get a photo up. Oh, here. First of all, the background, everybody. Can you all see this photo up here now? This is another Ryan Gonzalez original from
Nice.
last year. Uh, from there's cousin Eddie and Gomez. So before we get into Father Christmas, Ryan, do you want to just tell us a little bit about this photo real quick?
So this is one of the pictures that I actually did like how it turned out, because usually I hate all of my pictures. But I just wanted like a holiday horseplay. Like Eddie was a little too drunk, so Gomez had to put him in the headlock and give him a little noogie to tell him to kind of calm down. And that the Dio is the when Legion's Con went virtual, that's the exclusive that Crashbox did, that
Oh,
the first
nice.
set of stairs.
Those are the staircases they said they'll never make again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was that floor piece. Obviously, he had that similar one at the last Legion's Con, but
Yeah.
man, that floor piece is fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good one. I picked up one of those floor pieces at the last Legion's Con.
I missed out on that. Well, I missed out because I spent way too much money on something else at his booth.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that's a good shot, dude. I like it.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Very good shot.
love your photos, man. I do
Yeah.
want to come
Thank
back
you.
to it later on to the maybe it would be a Eric. Do you do anything like that? Do you ever do like themed like photography or anything like that for a holiday or something that's going on?
I haven't really done any photography in a while. It's funny when I first got into Mythic Legions, I was already a big collector of all other, brands of action figures and stuff. And I was starting to dabble in toy photography. Like I really started, like that was before I jumped into customizing. That was kind of where my mindset was. Like I really wanted to, aside from being a toy collector, I really wanted to start doing toy photography. And I was following at the time a couple of major players in the photography game, and one of the biggest names that I was following for a long time was Sergeant Bananas.
Yeah.
I was following his work, and I was just like, I just can't believe what this guy's doing with action figures. And it was just mind blowing to me how awesome it looked. And I mean, I started, like I said, I started to dabble a little bit. And when I first got my first couple mythics, I went out in the, into the hills and different places and took them outside and did a lot of outdoor shots. But I've done a lot of like Marvel Legends stuff and not Mezco, but like the Hot Toys. I've taken some Hot Toys out and shot some pretty good photos with them. But that's definitely something it's kind of on my back burner that I would really like to get back into. But it's just ridiculous how much time customizing takes up. Is so much time and energy to do all that stuff. And I guess you can only try to be good at one thing at a time, I guess.
Yeah, it's there's so many, like, especially like if you're like involved in the cabal or whatever, all you see is you get just a barrage of just customs and incredible photography. And
Yeah.
you see so many things and you get so many ideas. And you're like, oh man, it would be cool to do this. It would be cool to do that. In my brain, I've got like a file of like different things that I think that I'd want to do, both from a photography standpoint, certainly making videos. Like I have a number of videos like lined up in my head. Some of them started already that are just kind of waiting to be like thrown out there, even from a customizing perspective. And I still am not haven't gotten too deep into customizing, but I have a couple of ideas that I'm like, I bet I could do that. I would at least like to try it. And
Yeah, yeah.
I feel
Well,
like,
like I said, when I started getting into it, or really, getting a, the fever for it, that was back in, I want to say late 2019, early 2020 was actually when I first started collecting Mythic Legions. And when I started shooting my first couple of photos, of course, I, started going into the Cabal a lot more, and becoming more of a part of that group, and noticing like all the great like diorama work, and people using backgrounds for the photography. So what I started getting into was I started making my own dio background. So I started getting out there with the blades and the markers and the rolled up tinfoil, and doing all kinds of cool stuff with dial making. And I even went to the point where I started researching like large like backdrops, like the kinds that they use in like let's say like the Star Wars movies and stuff like that, where they'll have like a set, but then they'll have the background of like the landscape behind it, which is actually just a painting.
mhm,
I know you guys have seen how they actually input that into movies,
mhm.
and I started really getting involved in like how that process is done, and studying like stuff like that, like artwork where they use background stuff. And I even got to the point where I was telling my mom, and that was just before COVID hit. I was actually researching and planning a trip to Florida, because I wanted to attend the Bob Ross painting school that they have in Florida, because I wanted to learn how to paint landscapes and stuff. So I started buying like all kinds of oil paints and big canvases and all kinds of crazy shit. But then COVID broke, and it's like all plans got pretty much ixnayed from there. So I never really got around to it. But it was like one of those things that I was just so passionate about, that I was like, oh man, I want these things to just look so crazy, and put them in different worlds with different, backgrounds. And it's just like I said, it's just endless of the stuff that you could do. But then you see what Trevor does with like these small diodes, and he backlights them, and using his little the reflective cards and stuff like that. It's like, man, I can't believe this guy puts out the photos that he does just in the small space that he works in. It's like, wow.
Dude, you know who? Well, go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead.
You know who else who absolutely kills it? There's so many talented toy photographers in the Cabal, but Michael Xavier
Oh
absolutely kills every single setup that he has, dude.
yeah.
They are incredible.
Yeah, yeah. It, like I said, it's just such an amazing thing to like. I know people will look at stuff like, guys like myself and other customizers, and go, "Oh man, it's so awesome what you do." But on the flip side, I mean, I look at guys that shoot photography, and I go, "Oh my god, that's so amazing." It's like, how do you do that, or how do you get that lighting just right, or it's just like I said, there's so much involved, and so many different aspects of talent that you just constantly have to just appreciate. But yeah, Xavier's amazing, man. An
Yeah,
amazing photographer.
the stuff about uh, uh, Mike's photos that I really like a lot. They're just so epic, and they look like this is a shot that was taken from an ongoing epic 3.5 hour adventure movie or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
He always like
absolutely.
he basically writes like half a chapter to set the context. And I've commented before that like that sets up so much more for me. Like, and you can the fact that he thought about like each character, where they're coming from, where they're going to, what's happening, and you can kind of see it in the photo. Like, I love that, man. I have so much respect for that. I think it adds so much detail to a
Yeah,
photograph. It's already awesome.
yeah.
That and the
Here's
behind the scenes, like he posts all
Yes.
of the different shots. I love seeing the behind the scenes to see how he actually sets that up.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome that he shares that too. Because I mean, it gives other people like us, or anybody else who, kind of wants to give it a try, a better perspective of like, hey, this is why that shot looks that way, because I've backlit it from here, or I've bounced light from this direction, or I've shot the camera from this direction upward to the scene. You know what I mean? It's like there's so many things that you can learn from other people, and it's great that like the community that we have is willing to share everything. You know what I mean? And there's nobody here that's like kind of keeping it to themselves, or like, no, this is my secret, or go figure it out yourself. It's like, yeah, you want to know? Here it is,
Yeah, like you guys have probably seen on Trevor's YouTube channel, where he does the shoot and review series, where he'll do a whole video for like this one shot that he did.
Yeah.
Like, he did one for the Nosferatu, the symphony version.
Yeah.
And the one that he did, I think it was the Ice Troll in Bardrick. He did like a whole scene. It's so freaking epic, man. And he takes you behind, like the shot is incredible. It almost looks like a painting. And then he shows you like just off the range of the camera view, there's the stuff where he's got stuff set up on foam or whatever, and like there's the figures like that are just like
that one, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. That shot is so freaking epic. It's just like it makes it, the weird thing about it, it makes that troll look 1,000 times bigger than the toy actually is. That's what's so cool about it. Yeah, I love it, man. I freaking love it. It's just incredible. Like I said, just camera placement, lighting. I mean, so many different little things that this guy does that make those shots just unbelievable.
Okay. So, I mean, that's cool. I mean, it is very inspiring. I think the only way to kind of get through is to just, all right, I'm doing this thing, whatever it is, and then like just do it and work on that and then move on to the next. I was thinking, I'm just going to throw it out there. We got a few weeks until the holidays, man. I thought it would be cool to do a holiday themed or a winter themed or whatever, like photograph, and like each come up with it, something like that on our own, and then post it, or if we're able to hop on a live and show it there or something like that. I thought that would be cool to be like, come back in like 2 or 3 weeks and be like, all right, here's what I came up with, and just to hear everybody's thought process about something like that. So no obligation, but if you guys are into something like that, let me know.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
All right, so as I was saying, there was this guy earlier today, Father Christmas. So for anybody that's watching this on a replay or watching now, most of you probably know already, but Four Horsemen have this new line, Figura Obscura, which they sort of announced last year, right around a year ago at this time, which appear to be, they're not Mythic Legions characters or anything like that. They're essentially like open mythological folklore type characters, it kind of looks like. And Krampus was the first one that they released last year, so the villain of Christmas time. And then the second, well, I guess technically the second Figura Obscura character was, they did a red version of that Krampus. And then just a couple of months ago, they did the Headless Horseman set. And then yesterday, an email went out, notification went out, there was a new holiday-themed Figura Obscura being dropped today, and it turned out to be this guy, Father Christmas. And again, for anybody that doesn't know, there's 2 drops. One was this morning at 9 a.m. There's going to be a second one later today. Do you guys remember what time that's dropping tonight?
I think it's 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. And the idea there is they want to make sure that people, whatever time zone you're in, you kind of have a better shot at being able to grab this guy. And there's also some other products. There's some coffee mugs, pins. You can get an all-in where you get the figure and all that stuff too. I can tell you, I went and grabbed the all-in on this guy. I got the coffee cups and everything with Father Christmas. So, and Brick Something is letting us know in the chat here that Father Christmas right now from the morning drop is still up, still available. Now, I saw that the all-in sold out. They do those in limited quantities, and I think you get a little bit better deal on the price than if you bought everything separately. So let me know, guys. Did you grab a Father Christmas? Did you grab one? Did you pass? Like, what did you end up doing? How about you, Eric?
I got 3. I ended up getting the limit. I got 3. I always pass on these Figura Obscura the all in packages. I always pass on the all in packages because I'm not a coffee guy, so the coffee mugs have no relevance to me. I don't see any use for a coffee mug. I have no use for it. So I always pass on the all in. So I just go for the figure. And yeah, I ended up getting 3.
How about you, Ryan?
I only grabbed one, and I just grabbed the figure. I didn't grab the all in.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate that the coffee mug is bigger this time than the last 2 releases.
So we'll come back. So here's
Yeah,
the
it is.
all in here. So when Krampus came out, I just got the Krampus figure. And you know what's funny is I have my Krampus. I never took him out of the package, so he's still in the package, packed away with my Christmas decorations. So we'll bring him down and take him out. So I haven't even opened him yet. And I sort of thought the same way. I'm like, I actually am a coffee drinker, but I'm like, I already have coffee cups. Do I need another one? But
Rick something's right.
yeah, I thought the Headless Horseman one looked pretty cool. So I got the all-in with the Headless Horseman set. So I got the pin and I got the mug. And I sort of have like a whole collection of pins now. Like I've got like my intern for a day pin. I've got my G-Con pins. I've got an Eric Miller pin. I've got now a Headless Horseman pin. I've got a Wolf King pin. So I was like, all right. I like the coffee mug that came with the Headless Horseman. This has a coffee mug. I've kind of accidentally started a pin collection. Let me get the all in. So I went all in on this guy this morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that sold out fast. Do you know how fast it sold out? Because when I looked at 904, it was already gone.
Yeah, and they
all in.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, which is funny because I think it's just I think the only thing you get is you get all the items, and I think it's a percentage off on the price. Like it's not a special box or anything. You just get all the things, and I think you get like a slight break on the price.
Yeah. As far as the figure obscuras come, I always like I said, I'll usually order 1 to 2 of them because it's like one of those things where like I'll obviously break out one. I'll break out one to display, and then I'll keep one aside for I don't know what. Like and it's not to. I mean, I know a lot of people will buy multiples to have them to obviously flip them, which is fine. That's what you do. But I usually just put mine aside for, I don't know, either giving one, getting one to a friend that missed it on, that's late to the party, or for trade, which is actually what I did this morning. I actually I traded a couple of figures off to somebody this morning, and one of them was the original Black Krampus. I had an extra one in one of my totes that I wasn't using, and someone was looking for one and had some figures to trade, and I said, sure, yeah, here you go. And that's been sitting in a tote for a year now, and it's just one of those things. The same with this Father Christmas. I know a lot of people were barking about it and weren't impressed, and they were passing and this and that. Fine, that's fine, whatever. I mean, that's their choice. But I know later on down the line, let's say next Christmas, someone might be, hey, does anybody have one of those Father Christmas? And I have some figures to trade. I mean, I'm kind of going to be that guy that's going to say, hey, I got 1 or 2 extras. You know what I mean? I'll trade for you. You know what I mean? So that's kind of why I get it. Plus, too, with all these new parts that came with them, I mean, as a customizer, I'm looking at those new head sculpts, the lantern thing, the soft goods, the bags that he comes with. I mean, to me, that's all customizing fodder. So, I mean, having that extra figure is, just one of those, extra pieces for me to maybe do something new with.
That's what I was going to ask you, is if from looking at this guy, and especially since you got multiples, if you've already got some ideas of things that you might want to do to customize this guy. I've heard some people already talking about, and I thought about it too, as far as doing something with the lantern with like an LED or something like that.
Oh yeah.
To light that up. Maybe so I didn't know. Did you guys catch any? So Chris and George did a 4 horseman Four Horsemen O'Clock live earlier this afternoon. Did you guys catch any of that?
No, I missed it.
No, I didn't get it. I was running around all morning.
Yeah, so I had it playing on my phone, so I caught a little bit of it. A couple things jumped out at me. Number one, that I didn't know for sure. I thought so, but I wasn't sure. But that, yeah, both heads are brand new sculpts, 100% brand new. So it's not
Yeah.
like a modified Magnus or anything like that. Both heads are brand new sculpts. And then there was a really funny part when they're kind of going through the accessories, and they picked up the tree, right? So the tree, the tree is just a green. Do I have a picture of the tree here? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
there's the tree, and it has like this little base, and the tree has wire at the bottom of the tree, and you stick the tree into the base. And I guess the wire is kind of long, so you've got to kind of either live with it sticking out to like what looks like, I guess, maybe too long out of the base, or you cut it, or you paint it, or do something. It's not a big deal. But they're going through the accessories. George picks up the tree, and he's like, this is the one piece that like I really, I just don't like it. And then Chris starts laughing. He mutes it, and I don't know what he said. Maybe he said like, "Listen, you can't be trashing the accessory as we're like talking." But
straight from the horse's mouth. Then
listen, he's honest, man. Plus, we all know that he hates fun.
yeah.
But I thought of that too. So a couple things that I would like to take one of the do something to light up the lantern. I think that would be cool.
That would be real cool.
Got to do something with the tree. I don't know what, like maybe get lights on the tree, maybe just spray it to make. I don't know. There's got to do something with the tree, and I haven't figured that part out.
You could decorate it. You know what I mean? You could put a little. You could find a bunch of little miniature things. What I want to know is what's in the bag.
All right, so here's the deal. So the bag is a solid piece. Okay, it's solid, and there's like a bear. There's like a nutcracker soldier.
Yeah.
There's some kind of lion or something. And that was another funny part, I thought, because Chris was talking about the bag, and somebody in the live stream was like, "What's in the bag?" And he started to say it. So I don't know this for sure, that this is where Chris was going, but I thought Chris started to say, he was like, we just should have, because he was talking about the different pieces, and I thought he was going to say that they just should have made the bag like a separate bag, like an empty bag, and then the toys or whatever that's in there, separate pieces that you could stick in the bag, which would have been cool.
Yeah.
So I thought he was saying we just should have done that, but he stopped short of actually saying that. So he didn't actually say that. I thought that's where he was going though. But it's a solid piece. So the stuff that's in there, it's all one thing.
Yeah, I'm talking about the sack.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I don't know actually. I don't know.
See that sack? I wonder if there's anything in there, anything special in there.
Yeah, because with the Krampus in his container, there was like the skull, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. know.
I thought that would be cool. You know what I thought would be really cool is if they added, just as a bonus to this, holiday set, and kind of a gift from Santa, would be one of those. Remember those little mini? Did you guys see at the studio those little mini like D&D style?
Yeah.
Figures that they did, the Mythic Legions figures that they did. I thought that would be pretty awesome if they would have printed some of those and thrown those in there.
That would be dope.
Yeah, that would be really
even if it was unpainted, just throw one of those in there into that sack.
Yeah, so I don't know if I might have, they may have addressed that on their live stream today, and I just missed it.
I don't know who the Facebook user.
Yeah, so for anybody that's watching on Facebook, just so you know, on the Facebook post where the live is, there's a little part where you can click. There's a little link. If you click on it, it gives StreamYard permission to show your Facebook name. If you don't click on it, you can still comment, but it's just going to say Facebook user. So we might not know exactly who you are. So give us a shout. But that is true. That in one of Trevor's pictures, and if you guys want to chat, I will try to find it. Excuse me. He shows like a little toy husky. So I don't know if it's one of those situations where Trevor just put that in there as a prop for the picture, or if that might be something that sort of comes with it. I'm not totally sure about that.
Yeah.
But that
Yeah,
would
like
be
I
cool.
said, my fingers are crossed that there might be a little something extra inside that sack, and I'm really hoping that there is, instead of just some like crushed up paper to like kind of make it look like it's full with something.
Well, somebody in the cabal actually screenshot and highlighted that not all the accessories that come with this figure are shown.
Right, right.
Yeah,
I saw that, and that's where I'm like, oh boy,
yeah.
like yeah, that's cool. That's cool. But yeah, like I said, man, just looking at the new stuff, and one thing I'm so thankful for, when I first saw the figure, I was like, okay, it's it's Father Christmas. I get it, and the whole thing, and it looks great, and I love the coat that he has, and the colors are just vibrant, and I love it. The one thing I was so happy was that the reef piece is removable from both head sculpts.
Yeah.
Because if that was sculpted into that head sculpt as a solid piece, it would be pretty hard to work around for anything else other than using it for Father Christmas. But knowing that both of those reef pieces come off of those head sculpts is perfection.
And see, Jessam absolutely killed those soft goods.
Oh man, so
They're
good, so good.
amazing.
I mean, like I said, if you're looking at the price point of the figure, I mean, that coat, that big red coat, is worth $60. You know what I mean?
At
It's
least.
like ridiculous how good that is and how much detail is in that coat. I mean, it's like people. I just don't think people get it, man. I don't think they get the value of what they're missing out on if they're not getting something like this. And I understand it's a figure that I don't necessarily know that I'm going to actually display this figure full time with my collection, but it's definitely going to be a year round, every year that's going to be, taken out and displayed somewhere in my Christmas, decorations throughout my home. I mean, it's a beautiful piece.
For sure. Someone said they actually bought it for their mother because that's exactly what they were looking for.
Oh yeah. Oh, totally,
Yeah.
totally. I can imagine how many moms would totally like flip their lids at getting this gifted to them, knowing that their sons or daughters love Mythic Legions, and they're kind of like, oh, whatever, he collects toys, and I'm not really
Yeah.
that's his thing. And then getting a piece like this and seeing like an amazing figure like this kind of being reimagined in a Mythic Legion style. I mean, it's just beautiful, man.
Because I know when it first went up, when Amber looked at it, she was like, "Oh, that would go perfect for the Christmas Village display that we have." I was like, "You're absolutely right."
Yep,
100%.
yep. Oh yeah, like I said, no matter if you had no idea what Mythic Legions ever were, if you never even heard the name Mythic Legions, if you gave this to somebody, they would be blown away. They'd be like, "Oh, this is an amazing figure," especially for, like I said, for someone that loves to decorate or put out holiday style stuff like this for Christmas. It's perfection, dude.
What up, Len?
What's happening? All right, let me do this. All right, so I think I've got this.
But all I want to know is where is my shipping notice?
Don't you start that, Ryan. You're going to the bottom of the pile, bro.
Dude, no, he just canceled my order. He's like, that guy's not even getting one now.
Exactly, bro. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so somebody said that during the Four Horsemen live. They're like, "Where's my shipping notice?" And they're like, "All right, you're at the bottom of the pile." What's happening, Len? What's happening?
Lan.
All right, so I think so. Here, me. If I did this right, aha. So
That
yes, we
packaging
got
is great.
some of Trevor's pictures here. Now I'm sure everyone had this thought, right? Father Christmas, got to do some shots with Alder the Moose, right? It's a
Oh,
match made
yeah.
in heaven.
For sure.
And when I was preparing for my Alder the Moose review, did a little research on mooses. Did you know that mooses are technically a kind of reindeer? That a moose is a kind of reindeer. I
I
had
did
no
not.
idea. No. So technically, this is Father Christmas with a reindeer. So there you go.
That's an awesome shot, man.
Here you go. Trevor does this stuff so well as far as making stuff look like I'm not a photographer, right? I like taking pictures of my figures with my phone, and I like going, outside and like taking outside shots in natural light. Trevor has a way of doing these shots that they look like they're outside. It looks like you took it right out of a movie. The different lighting, like the light on Father Christmas's face looks like it's coming from this lamp, which is not actually lit up,
Yeah.
while everything else is a little bit darker in the moonlight. Just a fantastic job.
I
Dude.
love how the snow is like falling in front of the lens of the camera. Like
Yeah.
what? Like really? Like that's so good, man.
Well,
Sick.
like when we were at intern and he did it in the breakout session, to see
Yeah.
him do this live, it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
Here's a close up of this is a really nice shot. This is a really great lit close up of the figure with his soft goods like clothes. This is the very traditional Santa picture, right? And I
Yeah.
agree with you, Eric. It's great that these things can remove. One other Snapple fact is it comes with two of these wreath crowns or whatever. And I guess the factory just put two in by accident. So they're supposedly exactly the same, and
Oh,
we're
okay.
just getting two in the package just because.
All right.
So here's the bigger picture, and there's the bag there, and there's this husky. And what we don't know, I don't think we know yet, is if that's what's actually in the bag or not.
Looks like a duck too.
Yeah. Looks like a little rubber duck or something poking its eyes out from the top there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, man, I'm pretty super excited about what might be in that bag.
Yeah. What's in the bag? Oh, sorry. All right. This was I real quick. I just threw some photos into the last. So
I
okay. So
know before you switch off, did they say whether like did they show the packaging? Is the like the backdrop, is it glossy still?
I think it is, and Nate's got a whole
Okay.
bunch of photos I can probably grab.
Because that intern, Trevor was trying to push for a more matte finish so that way people could actually use it for like figure photography and not have the glare off the lighting.
Yeah, yeah. I remember him talking about that.
Yeah.
I got you. Hold up.
Man, and again, how about that? How about that packaging artwork, man? I mean, it's just freaking beautiful.
Awesome.
Incredible.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So just here we go. Nate one. I'm having trouble just sharing my screen to get some of this stuff. So what I have to do real quick is go out and pirate it off the internet here, and then add it to my Google Slides. It only takes a minute. Yeah, Nate killed it again with the artwork here. That's a good point.
Unbelievable, man.
As far as the glossiness goes, I hadn't even thought of that, but yeah, I guess you would get like reflection and some glare, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Because that I would love to use those, but with the lighting that like even a little bit of light can ruin that shot.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that glossy will pick up that light so bad, so fast.
I mean, and it's beautiful. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know people say Super 7 kill their presentation, but the Four Horsemen, like when they do these deluxe figures, well, I guess would this be considered like a deluxe anywhere else or like
I mean,
deluxe packaging?
I consider it a deluxe figure. I mean,
But they absolutely kill like the Headless Horseman artwork is
oh
fantastic.
yeah, beautiful.
This is definitely a deluxe if it's like Hasbro. Like,
Oh yeah,
let's
for
just
sure.
all right, 1, 2, 3. Pull that bad boy down. Add another one. I think I got every. Oh no, I want to get this one too. Wait, no. Yeah, this stuff is really good. Sorry, guys. Just real quick, I'm gonna pull in these photos in.
All
I think
good.
this is another Trevor photo. I think actually. Can I get this bigger? Ah, no, that's crappy. Whatever. I'll just go with that. Okay. Back to StreamYard.
Going back to what you were saying about the pins, Jonathan. The pins I picked up from the which is one of those things, like all the original faction pins. I have all of the originals, and I don't know if I ever shared that with you guys. I actually made a shadow box and displayed all those pins inside a shadow box that I added lights to around the thing and everything. So I have that on display. But all the new pins that I've been getting, I've kind of been wondering like what to do with them. And the ones I was kind of like really stoked about getting was the Furious 4 pin set at the con. And I was kind of wondering like, what the hell am I going to do with those pins, or how am I going to display them? And I actually on my details back here, I set up an entire shelf with the Furious 4 and a couple extra like red characters, red, Fury orcs and whatnot in there. And they're on like stone steps that go to the back of the detail, so they all rise above each other. But right in the front, I had nice big spaces on the front ends of the steps, and I ended up putting each one of those pins and the Legions Con 2022 pin that came with that set. I put it on there, so it's like a beautiful like little display of the pins, like right in the front end of the detail set. So it looks really nice.
That's pretty dope,
man. Yeah. And I was like thinking to myself for the longest time, I'm like, hell, how am I going to display these pins? These pins are like beautiful to go with this set. And so, yeah, that's how I ended up doing it. I'll actually take a shot of it later on today and share it to the Cabal and show everybody what I did with it.
Yeah, dude, I would love to see that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I thought the same thing though. Like, I just started getting the pins, and I was like, what am I going to do with these pins? Right? Like, I just got them, but like, from like you'll get pins from like Walt, or when I went to like an event, we would get a pin, and then I just like a lot of people, I just stuck them like on my backpack, right? So
yeah.
When I go to a con, I want to like, that's a cool thing to show off, right? So I just stuck
absolutely
my backpack.
Yep.
But for Legion's Con, there was a portion of Saturday where I threw on a shirt and tie just to go with like the whole the theme of my shirt and tie theme from the channel. And what I did is I just put and I couldn't even fit all of them, which is a bunch of pins, just lined them up all over my tie. And I thought that looked pretty cool. All right, so I think I got, here's Trevor's pin. So look at this.
Look at that, dude. Look at that.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. There's cards too. Yeah. Just gorgeous. Like, somebody was like, yeah, like Nate is the new Thomas Kincaid or whatever. Like,
dude, seriously, dude, look at that. Look at the light off of that shot, dude. It's so awesome.
I'm speechless. It's beautiful.
So freaking awesome, dude.
And there's the shot at night with it looks like a beautiful old painting that you've seen for years. And there's Santa here in the distance.
Yeah, that's amazing, bro. Amazing.
And here, just the town. So I guess this will be all over the packaging, I guess.
Yeah.
And I guess just then there's Father Christmas. And then I wanted to get this a little bit bigger, but and this is another shot of Father Christmas just in the snow, just himself with all his stuff on him. So
Len, he said there you go.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, nice, dude.
I don't think I remember seeing that. That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, I saw a few people carrying around those Cabal things, and I had no idea where people were getting them from. I didn't ask because I like I said, I was already too busy scooping up every damn other thing from every table in the show. But I mean, I saw a couple of people walking around, and a lot of people were walking around getting everybody to sign them. They were getting signatures from everybody on them, which I thought was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just to bring home a cool memento from Legions Con, to have that Cabal board and have everybody's signature on it. I thought that was a really cool thing. But I had no idea who was giving them out or where they were coming from. I never asked anybody where they got it from.
Yeah, now that you mentioned about people getting it signed, I think I did see them, and I just thought they were for like they were just like a Cabal thing to get it signed. The fact that they're actually there, like they were created to like have the pins.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That is sweet.
So here he is. So here's Father Christmas. Similar packaging, it looks like, to Krampus here. And the backdrop, I don't. It doesn't look like. You can't really tell here, as far on the glossiness question as to whether or not the backdrop is the same shininess or not.
Yeah.
Which is, it's like a double-edged sword, right? Because the glossy background looks awesome when it's sitting there, but yeah, I guess on photography it could be a detriment.
Especially, like, I see where Trevor's coming from, because if you're just trying to get into like toy photography, quote unquote, that is an excellent backdrop to just set up, throw some lights up there, and just get you started.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Especially if you
absolutely.
don't have like the money to get like a Crashbox Dio or like That Guy Customs or Lone Wolf.
Yeah.
They can get pretty pricey.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
most definitely.
absolutely. Absolutely. I actually, it's just one of those things that I'll throw out there today. Earlier this morning, I stopped off at my local Staples, and I'm actually going to pick them up tomorrow. I had, I'm having like 6 prints, 16 by 20 prints of backgrounds actually printed up for me. I had Greg the Brute scale send me a couple of photos that he actually utilizes in his big displays that he has at his house, that he uses as backgrounds. Like there's forests and like there's dark forests and stuff with like fog and stuff like that. And he sent me a couple of those photos because I was like, dude, I have to have something like that in some of my displays. And so I set up a couple shelves in my detolfs, and I went and had some of those background displays printed. So I'm going to bring them home tomorrow morning, and I'm going to cut them to size and kind of, put them in there so they're like boxed in a corner, so that if you're looking at it at a certain angle into the detolf, it's just going to have that full background. But those backgrounds, I mean, a 16 by 20 shot of a forest, putting that, and I'm having them done on matte paper, not gloss paper. So if
Yeah.
I wanted to, I could take those pieces and put them in front of a couple figures, or put a couple figures in front of it with maybe like a little faux grass or something in front of them and shoot upward. And I mean, those backgrounds will look amazing. And that's, like I said, just with something like this. Yeah, if you were barely getting into photography and had no concept of how to make a dio, or didn't have the funds to buy something from somebody, this would be an amazing thing to start with.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here's a dumb question that I thought of before. So, like for like the Mandalorian, for that some when they were that I saw like a making of the Mandalorian thing they did, right? The show. And for some of the backdrops, you know how you were talking before about like using like paintings and things like that, how they have a set where they just have giant video screens.
Yeah.
That's like part of the backdrop. So I'm sure that people use video, but then what do you do about the glare from the screen? Is there a special kind of screen, or do you need like a regular LED or something like that would be difficult? I mean, have you ever tried that, or have you ever heard about somebody talking about doing that?
I know a lot of photographers actually use like cheap like flat screens that they don't use in their house anymore, maybe like an old flat screen that probably doesn't have that high gloss finish. Like some TVs don't have that gloss finish on the screen itself. It's more like a matte
Huh.
screen, so they use that. And I've seen a lot of people do some amazing photography work utilizing just that, where they put those screens with the big like background displays on them, and they shoot photography to them. And yeah, you don't see any light bounce or anything off of them. I don't know how they do it, but I've seen it done.
Yeah,
Trevor does it. He uses a TV. I don't know if it's a TV screen or like just a bigger computer screen,
Yeah,
but
like
he
a
does
monitor.
like behind his, yeah, a monitor. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
so I
And
don't know
you
if there
can't
was
even tell.
yeah, yeah.
so I didn't know if there was like a special kind or something like that that you would need to use.
I I guess it would be in like the way you like edit the photo, because is does he edit? I'm assuming like for the snow effects and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I know he has to do major editing to a lot. I mean, not major editing, but I know he does some pretty decent touch ups on on those photos, utilizing whatever Photoshop that he uses or whatever.
Yeah, I saw on some of his shoot and review series I was talking about. Excuse me. When he was going through all that, like I knew that photography is like can get like, highly technical and things like that. But what I didn't realize um, was
Bill,
how
going on?
complicated it can really get. What's up, Bill? Thanks for stopping by, man. Um, I didn't realize how complicated it could get. Because I know things like
Absolutely.
things like I've done I've used Logic to like make music before, right? And
Hmm.
it's like it can be like so like hyper technical, and you could study it for the rest of your life and never really like get all the ins and outs of like using like a computer program to create music or something like that, right? Because
Yeah.
every little sound can be tweaked, and like there's a million different parameters and all this different stuff. And I just never thought that it's sort of the same thing with photography.
Oh
But
yeah,
when
yeah.
Trevor was going through like what he does with the shots, like honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, like I feel like I'm not an idiot. And like within a couple of minutes, like he completely lost me. Like he had
Yeah.
gone through so many levels of what he was doing to remove like the cables from the photo. And like it was very, very like you could tell like when an expert's doing it, they're not just doing a thing like, all right, right click, remove cable or something like that. He's
Right,
doing it
right.
like a very difficult way because of the result is so much better. Like
Yeah, yeah.
pretty
It was
crazy.
Sean,
it was
Sean, no, my bad. Sean is right. It is also the way the lights are set up.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, it was very, very surprising and very telling to, like you said, how massive the 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 programs are that are utilized in like toy photography, music editing, stuff like that. When Eric Treadaway was doing his sculpting seminar during intern, he was telling us that in most cases, even guys as skilled and as dedicated to their art form as he is, they only use probably no more than like 5% of the
Yeah.
tools and the capabilities that are available on the ZBrush program that they use. And that's, I was like, wow, that's crazy to hear from a guy that talented that can do so much that he only utilizes that little tiny bit of that massive program. It's like, I can't even imagine if like I said, if a guy like that could utilize 30 to 50% of the capabilities of what could be possible, you know what I mean?
There's just so much there. Like, and again, I
Yeah.
keep comparing it to like a Logic, which is for anybody that doesn't know, Logic is an Apple program that you can use to create music. It's a digital audio workstation, a DAW. And like, I just life gets in the way. I've got a career, kids, action figures to collect, all kinds of stuff. I just haven't done as much with my music as I've had a chance to in the past, like especially over the last year or whatever. And like if I open it now, it's like it's so complicated. It's like opening it for the first time, and you're like, wait, there's so much power there, and it was kind of like I never thought about the photography that way. But when I heard Trevor like going through it in his
Yeah.
video, I was like,
It's
oh, wow.
my things like I said, Photoshop are and I remember, I mean, God, this was back when Photoshop, I mean, was brand new to the computer world. I remember back in, I mean, it probably was probably like the late 80s, early 90s when the first, versions of Photoshop were out there. And I remember a couple of friends of mine, we would have, photos that we would try to edit and do things with and, tweak and add stuff to it. And it was mind blowing all the stuff that you can do with those programs. And like I said, we barely even scratched the surface, but just realizing, like I said, how technically advanced these programs were, it's just, I mean, like you said, you just get lost in a heartbeat.
So yeah, so I thought it was interesting. Obviously we got like Trevor's incredible photos, and I put another one up there because they're that damn good. Nate's artwork on the on the packaging is sort of amazing. And one of the cool things is I think we're supposed to get this now um, before the holidays.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they'll start shipping out, I guess, right away, right?
From
Yeah.
from what I understand, that they're already in hand. I mean, I think they just are pretty much gonna get the
they're doing.
Get the orders and start slapping labels on boxes and shipping. I'm pretty sure that's what my understanding from what I read of how they're going to do it. So they're probably already stacking boxes and getting them ready to ship.
Len's like, yeah, they're already starting the shipping process.
Nice.
So,
Yeah. That's awesome, man. That's awesome to know that you're going to get something that quick. You know what I mean? Especially the, a day after the reveal. It's like, or on the day of the reveal that thing's already pretty much getting a label created for it. That's amazing.
yeah, and another thing is too is like this company, Four Horsemen, they're so good at like reacting, and then planning ahead, right? Because to do a drop like this has obviously been in the works for I don't know how long, more than a year, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To creatively plan it out, design the figure, get the soft goods designed, get everything done, and the cool thing is like, and nobody knows about this stuff. Like nobody knew. As a sportsman,
I love that, man. I love that. And then, like I said, I mean, you got to think about it. On top of all of the stuff that they've probably been running, like crazy around getting everything ready for Necronominus, and they still have time to, like I said, punch something out like this. That's just a home run. You know what I mean? It's crazy, insane.
And there was so then like listen, people have different reactions to it, and I saw a lot of discussion on the Cabal today. Like some people were like, oh, I'm going to pass on this guy, or I was hoping for like a crazier warrior Santa or something like that. And that's anybody, you can like or not like a figure if you want, that's fine. Although Trevor made a post that I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah, I saw that. That was funny.
I missed it.
He was like basically, I've never gone through like my grocery store and like saw some frozen French fries or something like that I didn't want and grabbed them and said, I'm gonna pass on these French fries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I feel the same way. If you don't like it, or if you think it's meh, because I saw that quite a few times,
Yeah.
that's fine. But you don't have to, for lack of a better term, shit all over everyone else who's going to actually enjoy it.
Yeah. And to add to that too, I mean, like you said, it's not for everybody. I totally understand. It's not for everybody. I was on that boat this morning when I came home from work this morning, and I was like, okay, it's like 5:50, 10 minutes to go. And I was already talking to a couple friends that were like, hey, you getting ready? Did you clear your cart? This and that. And I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. And I said, you know what? I said, in all honesty, it might be a pass for me. I said, I'm going to see what they offer, and it might be a pass. I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm not trying to, speculate what it's going to be. I'm just going to let it drop and find out what it is. And I'm going to make a decision. But like I said, if it wasn't for me, then I'd move on. And I just go, hey, you know what? I just saved some money, and I'm not going to get it. But like I said, the last thing I want to see or hear or do, like you said, is to shit on somebody else's decision of like, oh, this thing sucks. It should have been this. Well, it could have been a lot of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you think about the whole figura obscura concept, it goes straight traditionally to what it's like. What? Okay, look at the Headless Horseman. He's not like a buffed out crazy warrior. He looks like the Headless Horseman.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Nothing. I mean, it's an amazing figure, and it's totally traditional to the Headless Horseman concept. There's nothing that's like, oh, well, he didn't have that kind of cape, or he wasn't dressed in black. I mean, it's totally the way he's supposed to be. So why wouldn't this figure be that way as well?
Also, Brick something a little while ago, he did say that there was a depiction of Santa Claus carrying the tree, and he said that he could use it, to bitch slap Krampus with. So
yeah, exactly.
I mean,
so there's your buff Santa smacking Krampus with a Christmas tree.
Yeah, and that's the kind of like the way I look. And listen, this is sort of the way I look at it, right? Like we're all passionate about this stuff. I'm generally a pretty passionate person when it comes to like any interest I have. I'm generally like 100 miles an hour. Like I think about it. I want to talk about it. I want to tell people about it. I want to bore people with my thoughts about it. So, and I think it's okay. Like it's okay to like everybody doesn't also have to like it. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
right,
and I think,
right.
and I think it's okay to talk about stuff, about a figure or a song or a movie, and it's okay to say like negative things about it if those are your thoughts. I just think life is all about balance, right?
Right.
So if you're just having a discussion with somebody about it and you're enjoying the discussion and you're like, well, I didn't really like this. This is why. It's okay. You don't have to like it. And I think you can still talk about it even if it's not positive. The line for me that I draw is kind of like, if all you ever do is complain about something, it's kind of like, are you really enjoying it?
Yeah.
And if you're making comments or whatever specifically to ruin somebody else's enjoyment, I don't like that's dumb to me. I don't that's where I draw the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and I think most people are kind of guided by that. But and then Bill on one of the Dork Lair lives, I think, said like to your point, Eric, like when people hop on and say, well, it should have been this, I wanted this, you know, it should have been that, that's fine. You can have that thought. But Bill said, but this is what it is.
Right,
Right?
right.
Like,
It is. This
you know
is
what I mean?
what it
Like,
is. I mean, like I said, it doesn't, like I said, and it doesn't mean you have to buy it. There's, you know, there's no obligation to buy it. That's fine. You can make the decision not to buy it. Like I said, like you said, where I draw the line in the sand is, like I said, when you're kind of trying to shit on it to change everybody else's decision.
yeah.
I just, you know, whatever. I mean, like I said, keep that opinion to yourself in a sense. I mean, you could say, hey, I really wished it would have been a little bit better for in this respect or that, or, you know, I think I'll pass, you know, it might not be for me, you know, everybody else enjoy, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
when you have, like I said, a negative approach at it, and you're trying to, like I said, you're obviously trying to turn everybody else's decision to your favor. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I can't dig on that.
And
And I'm
Trevor's point was well taken. It was kind of like it just seemed like because you see posts like that all the time, so I didn't really think, didn't pay it a second thought when I saw posts like that. And again, I'm not trying, and I'm like, I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on somebody else for speaking their mind or whatever, but there
no.
is something that's kind of funny about like taking the time to like, you know, save a photo and make a post about it to just say I'm going to pass on this.
Yeah,
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 I feel like that's
It's-
fine. It does seem a little funny to me.
It's
yeah,
just wasted energy to go out of your way
yeah,
to
yeah,
just
yeah,
say that you're gonna pass.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
say,
it is.
it's not for me.
Yeah,
Everyone else, like you said, everyone else enjoy it.
yeah.
No, I
Well,
will say-
regardless of those who didn't like it or not, like you know, Dork Lair just said the morning drop just sold out. So there you go.
yeah.
So people clearly like it.
Yeah, somebody liked it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
I mean, I might be biased because I'm a horseman cuck, but
hey, but you know what? We were talking about that earlier about, like, you know, Jonathan, you were saying how, you know, for the past year or so, like everything that's come out, you've gone all in on. It's one of those things where no matter what it is, you've gone all in just so that you could say, hey, you know what? I've kind of cleared the bench. I know that I'm going to get the product, and I'm not going to, you know, later on, you know, be kicking myself in the ass saying, oh, I missed out on this, or I should have ordered, or I should have put the pre-order in. Well, my thing is I was doing the same exact thing where I was going all in on each one of the waves. And then when the All Stars waves came, and then the Deluxe Legion Builder waves came, being a customizer, I went heavy on the all ins, where I went like all ins plus 10 of each figure, or I went on the Deluxe Legion Builders, I did 6 all ins, only because I wanted all those extra bodies so that I could do my custom work for them. But now I've ordered so heavy in the previous waves, you know, especially with the last 2 cosmic waves, I've gone so heavy that I actually, for the first time, passed on the Pox's pre-order. I passed on the whole wave. I didn't order any. Only 2 reasons. One is I know that I'm going to have plenty of trade bait to trade up for anything I want from the Pox's wave. And second, only because now I'm learning the whole game of the 4 Horsemen Studio, is that every time we go to Legions Con, anything I missed on, I'm going to be able to get at the table.
fair.
So, and if I have to pay, you know, $10 more per figure, who cares? I really don't care. It's not a big loss to me. So, I mean, and like I said, looking at the way I'm ordering now, if I've already ordered heavy on a few waves prior to the next one coming up, if I don't, financially feel comfortable throwing another $500, $600, $1,000 on a huge pre-order, I'll pass on the wave, and I'll just wait till they hit the table, or like I said, my pre-orders come in, and then when the next wave comes in that I didn't, get, I'll put it out there and say, hey, you know what? I got some trade bait, and let's talk some trades, and I'll get my figs and someone will get their figs.
And that totally makes sense, right? And it's part of that is just, I don't know, it's like reality, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, because at some point, like, there's a couple things that's going on there. Like, no matter how you sell a figure, somebody's going to complain about it, right? Whether it's a long pre-order or a surprise in stock drop, somebody's going to complain about it.
I'll be right back.
Yeah,
you got it, man. But I think the Four Horsemen do a really good job as far as changing things up a little bit. Like, Krampus last year was a surprise drop, sold out pretty quickly. Like, the Headless Horseman, like, they upped the numbers big time. If you wanted the Headless Horseman, you could get one.
Yeah, I was really surprised how long that order stayed open for.
Yeah,
totally. I was really surprised that didn't sell out like real quick. So, and it was weird too how people, again, there was people complaining about how they didn't get the chance to get it. I'm like, what are you talking about? That thing was open for hours on both drops. It was up for hours and hours before it sold out. So I have no idea what they're talking about. Obviously, these people didn't attend the old in stock sales, the old bloodbaths we used to go through. Those things were ridiculous.
Or even not that long ago, even those it was the in stocks during the pandemic that summer, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I thought those were they were fun, but like I got frustrated too. Like, I remember before, like, Hagnon's one of my favorite figures, right?
Yeah.
And he was one of the first 4 Mythic Legions figures that I even found out about.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to get Hagnon, and I had this thing where, like, I'm not going to go on eBay and buy him. I want to buy him from the Four Horsemen, for whatever reason. And I had gone out for like a run or something like that, and I knew the 3:00 Friday in stock was coming up, right? And you never knew what was going to be on there. And then so I was trying to get back to my house in time to get on my computer, but I was too slow. And I was like, it was about 3:00, so I pulled out my phone, stopped, all sweaty, and pulled it up, and freaking Hagnon pops up, right?
Yeah.
So I try to buy him as fast as I can, and I didn't get it, and I was like, I was like so frustrated. But that was part of the fun to me. Yeah.
Like, I jumped in on, I think I jumped in on the first, maybe like the first 2 or 3 in stock sales when those bloodbaths went down, and it was funny. I only probably, and really it wasn't even a matter of trying to get the real like elusive figures from that sale. It was just like, okay, I don't have that character and I don't have this character, so I'd pick like maybe 2, go right to the cart, put my credit card information, hit checkout, and the figures were gone. All 3 times, and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm like, this is crazy, man. This is crazy.
Did you guys already talk about the Exodus?
Oh, no.
Did you guys? So he made me think of it.
Yeah, Exodus.
I wasn't around yet. No. So I'm like, but I heard about stuff like that, and I heard that was on the old site too, right? The old site used to crash big time. Right?
Yeah.
That the Exodus was when they just went to the Shopify site.
Yeah, that was the first time they did the new system, right? Yeah. But it was nuts. It was like everything sold out in like under 2 minutes. It was ridiculous, like how fast everything, and everybody got cart jacked. Everybody. It was like, what the hell? Like,
dude, I heard there were some heavy hitters in that sale too.
Oh yeah, there were big heavy hitters in there. But like I said, even for myself personally, I didn't go after the heavy hitters. I just went after like an extra Boreer or something stupid like that. You know what I mean? Like a cavern dwarf or something. And I put like 2 or 3 figures on my cart, go to checkout, and they were gone. I'm like, God damn it! And I go back and put another figure, and it was gone. I'm like, dude, I can't win. It was crazy.
From that sale, I actually got a Hagnon.
Nice.
I got your
Hagnon, Jonathan.
So I got a Hagnon, and then this is when they had I believe it's the Templar builders with the gold trim. So I grabbed one of them, and then the limit, it was past the limit, and then they just kept canceling people's orders who ordered too many. So I just stayed on there and just kept refreshing. I ended up with
Nice.
3 Templars,
Nice.
Gold Skelly.
Nice.
See, that's I remember like that's one of those things. Like I think and Jeremy on Mythic Customs before has said like he's not a big fan of like the gold skeleton or whatever, but like I don't have one yet. I need one in my life, man.
Do you
The
have
colored
Clavian?
skeletons are awesome. No, I need what is it? Am I saying his name? Clavion?
Calabian?
one?
Yeah.
The red,
And
the
then
red
the
one.
gold
Red
skeleton.
skeleton, right?
Yeah, I want both of them, and I don't have either one of them. I would love to get those. On the first thing I ever actually scored on an in stock sale was a vampire weapon pack, and I was like,
Nice.
I didn't care. I was
Good.
just so happy I got something. I was like, I love that's so great. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
The first figure I ever got was Boyer. On an in stock, so
Nice.
there was good stuff even 2 years ago during those
Damn.
in stocks. They were great. Like I got an Artemis. I got old Artemis. I got the hell else did I get? I got a Boreer. I got the Vampire Weapons pack. I forget. I got other stuff that I thought anyway was pretty good because I didn't have it yet.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
He got a Pixis.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Did you see somebody in the Cabal earlier today had like a whole like collection of like the Masters of the Universe tribute figures they were selling? It's like 1,100, and you'd get Keltis, Adamon, and then like Bryophytus and a couple of the other guys. But I don't know, man, it seemed like a pretty good deal. I don't have $1,100 to drop on that right now.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
seemed like a pretty good deal.
Yeah. I'm actually pretty satisfied in a sense not having those figures and just kind of doing my own custom like renditions of the ones that I don't have. Even though I, pulling my teeth, but
Oh,
I sold like 3 of them at Legion's Con, which I
yeah.
ate.
I did see that someone got that Otho during the exercise. I don't mean to cut you off, but
Yeah, no, that was a whoever. Yeah, that's freaking.
that's
Like-
awesome.
Crazy.
Mike Uziel, who did the Dork Lair logo. Fun Snapple fact.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's sick, man.
So
When was that? When was the Exodus sale? Do you guys remember like what month, year?
Bill might know.
Yeah,
I don't even remember.
yeah, I can't even remember.
So I'm generally like I'm pretty forward looking when it comes to Legions because there's so much coming out
Oh
and
yeah,
there's so much stuff like
Yeah.
ahead. I'm not too worried about like I'm not going to be a completionist or anything, but there's a few figures that are here. You go, September 2000.
let me ask you guys something. Okay,
Yeah.
so in your collections as they are right now, obviously we're all missing that quote unquote grail piece. If there was one piece that you could add to your collection that is totally out of your price limit, or it's just one of those figures that's never going to happen in your collection, if you could have that one figure, what figure would it be?
Oh,
Ooh.
I don't know if it's never going to happen, but Keltis is the thing that immediately springs to mind. Like I
Nice.
think I'll get a Keltis eventually. It's just it's tough to be like, all right, here's $300 or $400 for one.
Yeah. How about you, Ryan?
I would probably say Sir Galeron.
Nice. Yeah, that's a hard one to come by.
And I think he's the only one I need to complete like the knights that we have so far.
Yeah.
No, I need Godfrey and Galeron, but Galeron for sure.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I was there when Ryan got Otho last year.
Oh yeah, you did get an Otho, huh, Ryan? Damn,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Bust him out.
Oh man.
Otho, obviously, I want an Otho too, but it's kind of
That's
like
awesome.
one at a time, Hedgehog. One at a time.
That's awesome.
What about
Mine-
you, Eric? Do you have one?
Mine is there's a tie for mine. Mine number 1 would be Etheron.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would love to have that figure.
And he's creeping, or is he? Is the bird a he? Is that confirmed?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's creeping up there in price.
Oh God, yeah. It's like I said, it's way too rich for my blood. But I would kill to have that figure. And the only other one that I would think that I would, like I said, that would match the kind of Grail status for that would be Rhaegar.
Oh
Ooh,
yeah.
yeah.
Just because of the significance of that figure and what it represents, which I didn't realize they had done at the time
Yeah.
that I got into the line, which I probably would have, back then you could have got a Rhaegar for like $150 or like $100, you know what I mean? But I didn't realize what that figure was or what it represented. But damn if I wouldn't have bought it then, if I had known.
Len, did you trade that to Chris Pinkerton?
Really?
Wow.
Damn. Do you guys do any of the
Yeah, I got that Otho because I got the Otho from Chris.
Oh, that's a step.
Nice. Nice.
That's the same Otho, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
That's amazing. Do you guys do any of the other stuff like the Gothatropolis, Seventh Kingdom stuff?
No.
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 I
I have
can't
one. I have one bird. I have the black raven. What is that? Decibalis.
I don't
It
even
is,
know.
yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I have I had. That's the only. I actually had the owl, the white owl, and I actually gave it to Greg last year, and then
That's a
I
great
saw it
price.
for like $400 on a table at Legion's Con this year. I said, "Hey, Greg, can I have that owl back?" I was like, "Damn it!" I'm like, "Dude, did I really give you that thing?" Yeah. 'Cause
When you first walked into Legion's Con this year, there was that one table on the end, like
Yeah.
on the corner, and
Yeah.
that dude had like a bunch of that stuff.
Oh yeah, dude. He had everything, but like I said, and the prices to reflect it too. You know what I mean?
But it's like it's kind of like, well, I mean, like, listen, I was teetering on trying to pay, 3 something for a Keltis. I'm like, well, I could pay 200 and get one of these guys. Like, they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think they look so cool, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have the only one I got. I'm gonna say her name wrong. Chromius from Seventh Kingdom, I think. Am I saying it right?
I don't know any of the Seventh Kingdom figures.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
Me
any of the
neither.
figures from that line.
Here, I got to get the name right before I say it because Chromius.
But before we move on, dude, I got Etheron. I outbid somebody on eBay for that, and I got it for 125 shipped.
Oh,
This
you
was
you have an Etheron, dude?
yeah, I got it.
Man.
Yeah, here you go.
I'll give you 150 for it right now, dude.
No, I'm not selling it. There's no way.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Etheron, like I said, that's definitely one that like I said, it even not being a completist, I feel like my collection is incomplete without that figure.
And that's the only bird that I have.
Yeah.
The only bird type figure.
It's really the only bird you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, like I said, my Decibalis is kind of my centerpiece of my collection above my desk, and it's like, yeah, that bird's freaking awesome, man.
Now, if you had
yes, it is Chromius. I knew it. Sorry, it was I have Chromius, who's a character from Seventh Kingdom, and the reason why I wanted to bring that up because I bought it from Corn Boy. So
nice, that's
even
cool.
better.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
So if you had the chance to pick up an Etheron, what would like the top end you'd be willing to pay?
For any figure?
No, just for Etheron.
Oh, for Etheron?
Yeah.
Right
Like
now, I mean, it's just me. Like I said, it's just me saying it. I'd probably pay 300 for an Etheron.
What about you?
That would be my limit.
That sounds legit to me. It's just that I'm still like the ones that I'm focused on. I'll pay 300 for a Keltis before Etheron. To be honest with you. just because
Well,
that's
it's just like I said, that's
Yeah.
the one, that's the one you want. You know what I mean? So yeah, I could totally see that. But it's just like I said, it's kind of like it's in the same token of like how I buy a lot of figures and sometimes I'll do trades with people and people will like say, hey, it's I'm looking for this figure, and I'll say, well, I've got this figure, and they'll go, oh, well, what else do you want for it? And I'll go, what do you mean? And they'll go, well, that figure is so much more than the one I'm offering you. And I say, you know what? I don't know. I understand that the resale value is there, and I understand the market value is there, and I could charge, up to whatever I want per the market value. But to me, I think of what I paid for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What I put out for it. If I'm going to get my money back, that's good enough for me in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If a trade is, to me, if it's a square trade, one figure for another figure, then it's good. I don't care if my figure is worth to the market 5 times more than your figure is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any that doesn't make any sense to me. I know what I paid for it. So as long as as long as I'm going to be square on what I paid getting back, that's good enough for me. And if I get a figure that I want in return, that's fine. You know what I mean? But sometimes, like I said, yeah, if I put a sale out there for some figures that obviously I'll try to, figure it out within the market value and offer it that. But some figures, it's just like, dude, I mean, they're so out of control. I mean, what was Aetheron at retail? I mean, what was that, like a $25 figure back then?
Was it? Wouldn't it have been like 35?
I don't know, $25, $35. Okay, so a $35 figure. Even if you made 200 on the figure, that's still a huge come up from what you paid for it.
Oh yeah.
But if you're asking 600-700 for it, I mean, I don't know. I just, like I said, that just doesn't sit right with me. I understand, hey, it's your figure. You could sell it for whatever the hell you want. But when people sell a figure that I obviously know, like I said, is 6 to 8 times even more so than what they paid for it, it just doesn't make any sense to even, honor something like that, or just be like, oh yeah, okay, I'll shit out $1,000 for you for a figure that's, that was $35-$50.
Yeah.
That just doesn't make any sense at all.
It's all relative, though. I think.
It is.
It's what I would spend, what I have spent on figures in the last couple of years is way freaking different than what I would have spent 3 or 4 years ago, even. You know what I mean? So that's way different now. And let's say somebody bought one of those figures. They bought it for like $100 instead of 25, and
Absolutely,
now
Len.
they're going to sell it for the going rate. It's kind of like, okay, I guess that changes it somewhat. A lot of it depends on what's the disposable cash, but like it's like anything. It's like it's not that different. It's different to us, right? Because these figures aren't just like, it'd be different if all we did was buy and sell figures, But the three of us, I'm pretty sure, are not in this whole figure thing to make money.
Not
at all. We sell stuff to make room, maybe to recoup some money. But if you're one of us and you're in it to make money, it's a poor investment because I spend way more money on it than I make back. But like for somebody that's just doing that, I guess it's like a stock. If a stock quadruples in value, I guess that's what it's worth. But
yeah. Well, I mean, to me also, I mean, it's really too the benefit of building great relations with, people like yourselves that, we could say, hey, you know what? I know I have a figure that I'm looking for. I'd rather reach out to people that I could trust, or that I'm, kind of in that circle with, that I could say, hey guys, look, this is what I have. This is what I'm looking to spend. Can somebody help me out and find this figure for me at a reasonable price? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Something, and maybe a friend's price. You know what I mean? I mean, like I said, I've traded standard figures or Legion Builder figures for things like the Red Shield Soldiers, which are ridiculously overpriced.
Oh, yeah.
And people are like, what? Like, are you sure you want to trade? I'm like, dude, don't put me in that realm. I don't care what the Red Shield soldier is selling for. This is what I want for it, or I'll trade you this or that for it. Take it. You know what I mean? I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? And that's like I said, those are the kind of relationships I try to build with people when I'm trading or showing them that the value or the aftermarket value or the, what everybody else thinks the value is has nothing to do with me. I just, like I said, I throw that out the window and I want to make a fair, transaction, and I want to be happy and I want to make you happy kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I did a trade with Len. He had the this. He had the gold Hazard Squad,
Yeah.
and I traded my Mezco Death Dealer. And
Yeah.
it felt good to me.
Yeah.
And
That's all that
I
matters.
feel like it was even.
All that matters.
Yeah.
As long as both parties are happy, dude, that's, like I said, done deal. And you've just created a great trade relationship. You know what I mean?
I did. And Len is a great dude.
Yeah.
Wolfgang Customs, dude.
That's why I think that the trade scenario is a different scenario to me too, because then it really is because different figures can be worth different things to different people, because they might be looking for different things. They might be looking for a grail, or they might want these Legion builders because they have plans for them and they can't
Right.
get them any, a different way.
Right.
So I definitely think that's different. It's kind of like anybody that plays like fantasy sports. Like if you get a fantasy, like the worst thing is like when you're trying to do a trade in fantasy football or something like that, and someone is like, well, I went on the trade calculator and this player's worth X amount of points, so that's why you should give me 5, I'll give you 5 of my worst players for like one.
Yeah.
Like, well, no, I'm like, let's just make a trade. Let's make a trade that helps me and helps you, type of
Right.
thing, right?
Right.
So I think that's kind of like the same idea Len was trying to express here. Like if you're doing a trade with somebody and you're going and like, well, on the last 5 sold items for this figure are actually this much. So it's kind of like, all right, well then what are we doing here? Because it's
Yeah.
supposed to be fun.
Yeah. I don't, like I said, I don't do that. I don't do that. Okay. Like I sold a couple figures recently, and, someone asked, okay, so what do you want for this figure? Now, I mean, like I said, I don't really keep up to date with what the figures are worth. I know what I paid for it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I mean, like I said, someone wants to buy it. I mean, I might, real quick jump on my phone and, check out eBay or a listing or see if someone's selling one and find something and say, okay, well, they're going for, let's say, an average $60 to $75. Like I said, I'll be happy if I get 50 for it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I'll offer the person, because obviously I want to be lower than the quote unquote market value, but I still want to, stay in the range where, like I said, I'm happy with what I'm selling it for. You know what I mean? But like I said, to go to the ridiculous, well, the last 5 that were sold on eBay sold, like, I don't care, dude. You know what I mean? I really don't care. If you want to sell me the figure, sell me the figure. If you want to keep it and try to make your eBay price for it, then have a nice day. You know what I mean? I'll move on to someone else I could deal with.
Yeah, because to me, especially like, listen, people talk about it all the time that this community is a different community, right? So with that in mind, it's kind of like, I don't know, and maybe this is just the way I look at it. I haven't done a lot of trades, but sort of looking at it, it's kind of like a trade isn't so much a business transaction as it is like a community transaction. You know what I mean? Like, and nobody has to look at it like that either, but it's kind of like, it sort of just reinforces what we've been saying the whole time. It's kind of like a trade is, if I'm happy with it and you're happy with it, that was a good trade. We don't have to, I think that makes sense to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, it's funny, like when and I was thinking about it when I was doing it when we were at Legions Con, and on both days they made the announcement that they were pulling the limits off of the exclusive figures.
Mhm.
Well, right then and there I was like, well, first off, I'm going to get a couple extra for myself, because I know at one point or another I'm going to open one of these things up and say, hey, I'm going to make a custom utilizing the parts from one of these, figures. And, I started shooting messages to friends of mine that didn't make the show and saying, hey, dude, they pulled the limits. If you guys want one, let me know. I'll go to the table and I'll pick them up for you. So we all brought those big giant boxes back home from. I got a huge box of like the unknown ones and the Furious Four, and now like I'm sitting on. I actually pulled one of them out because I actually utilized it for the Jagualian head, but I still have 2 of the 2-packs from the Furious Four, and I have 3 of the unknown ones that I still haven't taken out of package. And it's like I didn't bring them home to sell them. You know what I mean? I didn't bring them home to flip them. But it's like if everybody's out there trying to like cut each other's throats, trying to get the best price or the highest money the market value affords them to get for these figures. And it's like, dude, it's just a figure. You know what I mean? It's not something that's And like I said, once the retail one drops, I mean, what's the value of that figure going to be then? You know what I mean? It's stupid. It's just like I said, it doesn't make. So I'd rather, like I said, I would rather hold on to these figures and not do anything with them until maybe, like I said, someone comes around that's, like I said, within our chats or within our groups or our friends and says, hey man, you know what? Do you have an extra one of these? Or, do you think you could find one for me? And, like I said, I'd be happy to help. But until then, like I said, I'd rather just sit on the shit and just let it be.
Yeah. Speaking of Legion Con exclusives, did you see Sharif on Instagram as Darth Dundada? His pop and swap, he made a Warlord Bardrick. I'm pretty sure he posted in the Cabal.
No, I did not. I did not
No.
see it. I gotta check it out. The last Bardrick custom I saw was the guy who he cut the hair off and he actually added like fur to the back of the hair so that the
head can move.
more articulated. I saw that, but no, I don't think I've seen that Bardrick one. I'll have to check that one out.
Still haven't opened them yet.
Nice.
No.
Yeah.
Did you make sure you got the cloth piece?
I do. Well, the thing is, I have actually have 2 extras here.
Dude, I brought like 20 of those damn things home. I brought like a pocket full of them home.
Well, apparently, Travis, he bought like cases because he sells at other shows.
Yeah.
And he didn't grab cloth pieces for any of them.
I know. He's
just selling them without it.
Because
I'm putting cloth pieces on eBay for $200 a piece.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got extras of both of them, but then I'd like sent them out to other people already. Right?
Yeah.
So now I'm sitting here literally with one of each of the exclusives, and I'm like, I haven't opened them yet. And I'm like, damn it.
Dude, check this out. Okay, so Nimai Medeiros was supposed to be at my table this year with me. He's the guy that was responsible for the diodes that were actually on my table. So he actually couldn't make the show. So what he did is he shipped the diodes to Greg, and Greg brought them to the show for me. And then I told Nimai, even though you can't make the show, I'll end up picking up the exclusives for you. And I'll, once I get home and everything's back at home, I'll ship the exclusives to you. So I took the 3 boxes. You obviously know the size of the boxes, right? I took the 3 boxes, and of course, because they're Legion's Con exclusive, so it's not like just a standard figure. So obviously I was like, I want the guy to have the whole box, the whole 9. So I packed up a box containing those 3 pieces and, obviously wrapped and everything. So they were nice and protected. And I took them to my local post office. Dude, they wanted like $92 to ship that fucker to North Carolina from California. Wow. $92, dude.
That's
I was like, the hell with that. I walked out of the post office and took my box home. I called up Nimai and I was like, hey, dude, I'd hate to tell you, but either I'm going to have to ship each one of these separately to you, like, at a smaller rate, or, because I don't feel right charging you fucking almost $100 to ship these 3 boxes. Nimai, as soon as he got my message, he was like, fuck those boxes. He's like, throw those fucking boxes away, put everything loose in a small box and ship me my figures. I was like, you got it, brother.
Nice.
I went back to the post office the very next morning with a little small box, all the figures all wrapped up, all the accessories and baggies and everything. It was like $20 to ship it.
Damn.
Yeah, shipping
What a
is
difference.
freaking out of control, bro.
And it's not
Out of
even,
control.
it's not like you were importing it to another country.
Nothing. Yeah, $92 from
exporting.
California to North Carolina.
That's
And like I
crazy.
said, in a box that was only, large enough to contain the 3 boxes. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like a freaking massive, like, box that weighed 60 pounds. Nothing. It was just like, I was like, you got to be kidding me with that shit, man. I was like, that's another reason. That's another reason why I hold back on like offering stuff up where I'm like, I have some figures like on OfferUp and people like contact me. They're like, hey, do you ship? I'm like, nope, because I just don't want to deal with it, man. It's like, dude, you know how much shipping is? It's like freaking retarded.
It's insane right now.
Yeah, dude.
Like I've got like extra, I'm a toy collector. I've got extra stuff that I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna like, sell this stuff or whatever. And I got a table.
God damn, look at that.
Holy crap.
$237 for 5 boxes, dude.
Wow. Holy
Wow.
crap. Should have rented an RV.
That's what Ryan did with him ish. They rented a U-Haul. That's how much crap they had.
Yeah, dude.
Holy
God,
crap.
did you see the hauls those guys pulled, dude?
Dude,
Oh
he was getting on the elevator at Legion's Con. He was like, hey, let me show you something. And I was like, okay. So we went to his room, we walked back, and dude, his entire room was nothing but like toys and Legion's Con haul. I was like, where are you sleeping?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'll move it all.
See, he was at intern with us last year, Ryan, right? And when we went into Legion's Con in the morning, like he was like the only guy in the morning that was coming in with a cart. And we were like, look at this guy coming in with a pull cart. Now, like 20 people had pull carts.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, it was
had to roll in with the U-Haul.
Yeah, those guys are serious, man. Those guys are serious. But those guys, I mean, I understand those guys. That's their business. That's what they do. They buy huge amounts of figures at the lowest available price, and then they go and do their thing and sell them at shows, and they turn their profit. I understand that. I mean, that's how it's done. You know what I mean? It's like, but they don't. I mean, guys like Ish. I mean, they're not. They up their price, but they don't, blow out like ridiculous prices for these figs. I mean, a lot of guys pick up great figures from them for really decent prices. So it's like, I totally respect what they do, but man, when they come in, man, those guys come in heavy, bro. Those guys come in so heavy.
Yeah. And the thing is, they're not like, if they price their stuff too high, nobody's going to buy it.
Right.
No, and again, I'm not a professional like some of these guys are, but sometimes I will look if there's like a ridiculous deal on something that I think people might want. Like if I can buy it, like the way I look at it is like, oh, if I can buy something and I'm buying it just to sell it, like I'm buying it at like some ridiculous deal, but then I can sell it to somebody for less than what the retail price is anyway, but I can still make, I'm selling it for more than what I paid for.
Right.
But the person that's buying it from me is still probably buying it for less than what they'd have to spend retail or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'll do that because I feel like that person's getting a deal anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like at ToyCon when you were vending, you were right next to Rich Kai's.
Guys, yeah.
Dude, he had I got this from him. It's a Halmir.
Yeah.
It was loose, but it was complete. He had I think originally he had 170 on it. He was like, but I'll let it go for 150. I was like, absolutely, dude.
Yeah,
I need it.
Yeah. I think I bought a Halmir from a buddy of mine about a year ago, and he did the same thing. I mean, and Halmir at the time was, 200 plus, and he was like, yeah, give me like, like $150 for it. I was like, you got it, dude. Like it was a total support. I was like, hell yeah.
Like if it's loose and it's complete, I don't care about the packaging.
Yeah, the packaging. Yeah, what you know what I mean. That's a whole. The only thing I do if for named figures like this, if like I said later on, I freaking croak and drop dead, and my family needs to make some decent coin off of all of this shit. You know what I mean? Like there's certain boxes that I've kept with the insert or the bio
Yeah.
card, and I have those all flattened out in a like a manila folder. So I mean, everything's all pristine and ready to go. I mean, obviously someone will have to take the time to put all that shit back together to sell the fig like that. But the rest of them, I mean, you know how many thousands of clamshells and card backs and bio cards that I've thrown away in the trash, dude. I mean, it's ridiculous amounts.
Yeah, but how else? Like, it's impossible to keep all of it.
Oh yeah, there's no way. There's no way. I mean, I keep those big, 38-gallon size totes or whatever. I have a ton of those in my garage and in my closets and stuff. And one of them is just the clamshells just stacked inside of each other. I mean, I just smashed them all inside of each other. I probably have like 100 of those clamshells like stacked on top of each other. I've got a stack of the back cards like this thick, you know what I mean? And like I said, all the file cards or whatever, but I have it all packed away all nice so that, like I said, if one day, I don't know, when I'm 80 or something, I decide, my old ass wants to get rid of my collection or sell off some stuff, I could start pulling all that stuff out and sorting it and getting the weapons together. And there's another thing, man, weapons and the accessories that come with these damn things. I mean, I've got, a whole tote system that I just put everything in. I used to be like, okay, I'd make a little print label and I'd say, this is, for the Orc Legion builder, his shield, his extra belt, his back pegs, about screw all that, man. I can't do that anymore. I have so much of that shit.
I tried for a while. Like, as I would open something, I would take, it'd be like a little plastic baggie, take like an index card or something like that.
Yeah.
I would write the name of the figure and the year or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, like, the accessories could go in there, and then the figure with whatever accessories I was actually using, go wherever I was doing it. I've done that maybe 10% of the time at this point now.
Yeah, I did that for the first maybe 40 figures that I bought. After I passed 200, 300 figures, there's just no way I could do it.
That's what I was just about to ask. Did you get any of those bags using the because I threw away the backers and the clamshells, and I capitalized on that and grabbed a bunch of them.
Yeah, these bags are gold, bro.
Yeah,
these bags are gold. I love these bags, dude. That was such an awesome idea from Dorklair. Yeah, such an awesome idea.
I was thinking about just switching over to that for like
these are all the extra accessories from that I'm not utilizing from all the Furious 4 stuff that I opened up.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like something like this I'll keep together because I know it's for a specific thing, you know what I mean? But everything else, like I said, I just like I have a whole tote system that, I have four of those stackable totes that have the individual, the ones like from Home Depot, and those are great. Every time I get a new belt or a new sword or a new shield, all that shit, I just start sorting it out and just putting it all in those things. Like I said, if I have to sell something, it's going to take me a minute to try to figure out what weapons or what. I'll have to go back to the checklist and like try to figure out by the pictures like what came with this guy, or even if I have it anymore, because sometimes I'll make a custom and I'll add a sword to somebody and then I'll sell the custom. I don't know who that sword belonged to. You know what I mean? Yeah. It could have been a Grail sword for all I know. I don't know.
If I don't label it, like and the thing is I have some of my stuff that I had on display is just in big plastic totes right now, right? Because I had to put it away during some of the stuff we're doing here. And then I'm in my basement right now. So that's like, this is like the man/kid cave. And then in the boiler room, I have these big like industrial shelves, and I've got like I just have like some stacks of Legions figures still brand new in the package, and then other like boxes of stuff. And then I have like plastic drawers just full like of all this stuff. And some of them have those baggies that I was talking about before with the index cards, and some of them just have like figures and weapons. It's just figures and weapons,
Yeah, I just, like I said, I just started realizing real fast that once you start going past a certain point, as far as the amount of figures you have, it just becomes so hard to I don't know, maybe and I'm a pretty organized person too. I keep things pretty organized, but at some point, like I said, there's just too many spears, there's too many belts, there's too many pauldrons. There's, you know what I mean? It's just like, shit, man, I can't separate all of this stuff individually. It's all, to me, it's just all the same stuff now. You know what I mean? So it's like, and it makes it easier for me when I'm looking for parts to paint or whatever. I just go into the box and go, hey, I need this pauldron and I need that belt piece and I need this loin and I need, you know what I mean? And I just pick them out. I don't know what character they came from, but they're getting painted. You know what I mean? Unless they have a specific color to it, like a Deltagar green or something like that, where I go, oh, I can't paint that because I know what figure that belongs to. If it's just like a basic standard gray or silver or whatever, it's getting used. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's getting painted.
So I was actually going to ask you this question before, man. Because and what made me think of it was like I was thinking about switching to the Bill's clear bag system for like all my stuff just to save on space and everything. And I was going to ask you what else you're into, but I see like I think I see some turtle stuff back there. I think I see like
God, dude, yeah,
what other stuff are you actively into?
okay, actively nothing, just legions. Dude, I've been collecting for over 35 years now. So I mean, when you talk about collecting action figures, you name the line, and I've probably been through the whole wave. You know what I mean? So it's like, and this entire room was completely empty less than 5 years ago. You know what I mean? So it's like I actually stopped collecting and sold my entire toy collection, everything that I had. I sold. Probably I had at one point I had a storage unit that I was renting out because my collection was so big. And back then I was a Minton card collector. So I had like, I think I had like 60, 65 giant totes in my storage unit. It was like a 10 by 12 storage unit. And I'm talking from floor to ceiling, back to front. The entire unit was completely filled from top to bottom with totes of all Minton card, everything you can imagine under the sun, as far as, you know, collectible action figures, from the old Playmates, Ninja Turtles, to the all those different Star Wars lines, like the Power of the Force stuff, some of the old Sigma 6 GI Joe stuff, everything under the sun from the McFarlane line. I was a huge McFarlane collector. But now when I got back into collecting, I've gone through everything. And each section of my room has a pretty much a dedicated display set of what I collect. So I have like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles shelf. I have a Mondo 1/6 scale shelf because I collect those. That's probably the only one that I kind of keep up to date with as far as when the pre-orders drop, or the Mondos. And I pass on a lot of them, but I like the last one I just pre-ordered, the Battle Cat. Yeah, that's a beautiful freaking figure. I have that Merman. I have like an X-Men shelf, a Spider-Man shelf. Over here, this is like all these 3 shelves. That's all my Transformers collection. This collection here, I collected this in like just this past year. Nice. I got all those Transformers just this past year. I don't know if you could see that. That's my Transformers collection there. Yeah. So I mean, and like I said, but once I for my personal way of collecting, once I reach a certain point of my collection where I'm, in a sense, satisfied with the characters and the display that I've built for that collection, I completely stop. Like I don't buy any new Transformers. I don't buy any new Turtles. I don't buy any new X-Men stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like all my collections are pretty much complete. The only new stuff I constantly buy is Mythic Legions. And then in the back, all of the details in the back here, these are all of those shells. Those are all Mythic Legions, except for this detail right here. Those are all Hot Toys, Star Wars Hot Toys, and it's only from Episode 4, The New Hope. So it's basically Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan, C-3PO, Han Solo, Chewbacca. It's basically those main characters.
So, did you back like Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, or did that not like pique your interest?
I really, really like it, but I didn't back it. I didn't back it because, like I said, dude, there's so much stuff, dude. There's so much stuff, and for me personally, it's in my room, it's a space thing. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
even if I backed it, like I don't have anywhere to display it. I really don't.
fair enough.
A lot of my stuff in my room right now, when I came home from Legion's Con, like my big thing when I got home was to really kind of like just rape this room and just restart from scratch. Like I want to get rid of all the details. I want to start from scratch and build a whole new room around this because like I said, it's come to a point where I've reached the breaking point where I'm like, okay, like I'm having to like put shit away to just add two new figures to my collection kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like I said. Now it's a matter of. I mean, like I forgot what was that what was the one that damn it, I'm forgetting his name. Um,
Is it the dinosaurs?
yeah, was that Matt Rodriguez?
Yeah, Armies of Ashmore.
Yeah, Ashmore. Yeah, like
Yeah,
those were freaking sweet, dude. Like I would totally love to buy those figures, but then again, I can't I have to be honest with myself. Like, where am I gonna put them? You know what I mean? Like I'm having trouble trying to figure out in my room right now, like where I'm gonna put Cosmic when it comes in. And I
Mm.
definitely want to display those, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
There's no doubt about it. Those are gonna go somewhere in this room, but I'm gonna have to, like I said, I'm gonna have to like this bookcase right here, that's going out. That's totally going out. That's going in my son's room. And that
So a
right
question. No, go ahead. Finish. Go
that
ahead.
that right there is going to actually end up being like three new full blown empty shelves to do like mythics or cosmic or something on. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
those are the kind of decisions I'm having to make right now. So trying to go, oh yeah, I'll do cosmic and I'll pre-order this and I'll pre-order that. I mean, I'm thinking another one, the Savage Crucible. I mean,
oh
dude, when
yeah,
those come out, it's like,
yeah,
I mean, I'm like, oh my God, like, how am I going to be able to not only afford to jump into that line, but where am I going to display it? I mean,
and
because I
it
can't,
looks like they got a lot coming.
oh man, they do. I cannot for the life of me anymore because, like I said, I've lived that life where I used to buy every figure under the sun and loved figures from the time I started to today. But I used to be that guy that bought thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of figures and kept them in totes. I never even enjoyed them. So once I came to this point in my collecting life where I open everything and I enjoy everything, there's nothing that I buy that I go, oh, I'm going to buy it and I'm just going to keep it in a box and tote it away. That just does not, that's not collecting to me anymore. That does not make any sense to me.
Yeah. What's the point if you can't enjoy it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's no way. If I can't display it or take it out and play with it and put it on a shelf, and like I said, anytime I want any of my figures, I just reach up and I grab one and I could do what I want with it. If I have to think of like, oh, I need to go down to the storage facility and dig through 100 totes to look at the box of the figure I bought and then put it back, and you know what I mean, like. And I understand a lot of people like I was totally respecting. I remember way back, Ryan, when you and Amber did your live stream and you were talking about how you rotate your figures, where you take some out and enjoy them, and then you'll put them back in their clamshells and put them, safely stored away, and then you'll take
yeah,
new ones out. I was like, dude, that's such a great process of enjoying your figures, but obviously keeping them still manageable inside of the space that you have in your home. You know what I mean?
yeah. Like I absolutely, we need a bigger space. We've already come to that, but the minute that I get a bigger space, all of them, every single one of them, all the Mythic Legions, they're coming out of the package.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I don't
I
know if
know.
I'm gonna keep
I
the
totally get
packaging.
that.
Yeah,
Totally get that. But I totally. I remember. I was actually. I remember wanting to message you right after that live stream of how much I respected that thought process of how to, you know, work inside of a constraint space where like you
yeah,
don't have the space even as much as you love the figures, you don't have the space to break everything out. And like I said, but you utilize what you have to enjoy some figures at a time, put those away, and then enjoy another grouping of them or whatever, or a new wave that's coming for you. And that's, like I said, that's totally respectable the way you do that.
So going back to Cosmic, this is a question for both of you. I don't know how much time everyone has, but you
Yeah,
said that you went heavy on Cosmic. So
Yeah.
how heavy did you guys go?
I can say, and I do actually have to jump off because I got to get dinner ready for the family. But if you guys want to stay on, I'll just mute my camera and you guys do whatever you want. Totally cool.
Yeah, we're good.
I went all in on Cosmic plus an extra Thragnar and an extra shoot. Who was the guy that was kind of like the blue and white soldier guy, but it came with a bunch of different pieces that you can mix and match?
That was on book 2, right? Or no, that was on the first one. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Is
And
that the science office? No.
No. He was blue. I can't remember the name of him. I know what you're talking about though.
Oh yeah,
He was like
I know
he was like the deluxe Legion builder.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
for me, I did I think I did 2 or 3 all-ins on the first wave, and then I did like 4 or 5 extra of the Sphexian guards. I did a 12 pack of the sentries. I did like 2 extra of the big green dude. What's
Slog.
I did like 2 or 3 extra of him. I did like 2 or like 4 extra of both of the girls. I did so many, and then in the round, the book 2, it's the same thing. I just ordered heavy just on all of those, and like I said again, it's only for future trade bait purposes. You know what I mean? That's all it's for. Because I mean, look how many people are jumping into the line every day that are like, hey, I'm brand new to Mythic Legion. It's like, I mean, that's mind blowing to me that people are barely still getting into this line now. So I'm thinking, Jesus, you know how many pre-order waves you've missed already? You know what I mean? So it's like those people are obviously going to order up heavy in the coming pre-orders. So those are the guys that are, like I said, when Cosmic starts dropping, they're going to be like, yo, like, where did these come from? You know what I mean? And hey, bud, if you got something that I'm looking for, I might have something that you're looking for. You know what I mean? So that's why, like I said, that's why I started making the decision to start ordering heavy on these waves. And it's like I said, it has nothing to do with, oh, I'm going to flip these for huge amounts of dollars later on down the line. Has nothing to do with that. It's all, to me, it's all trade bait purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just double checked. I was wrong. I did 1 all in, and then I got like an extra Thragnar and an extra Slog. So I didn't actually get the other guy. So
yeah.
So 1 all in and 2 extra figures.
Yeah. Nice. How about you, Ryan? How did you go on that?
So the first wave, I did 1 all in, and then I ordered an extra Sphexian guard and 2 of all the Tusk, like officer Sentry.
Nice, yeah.
And then I only, because of money constraint, I only did 1 all in for book 2.
Yeah. Book 2, I didn't go as heavy as book 1, but I did order a couple extras, especially that tall alien dude. Oh, dude, I had to get extras of that. That was probably my favorite one of the entire wave.
Yeah, dude, I got one all in of book 2.
Yeah, the blue, I don't know the blue guy's name that looks like the cyborg. He gave me laser shot Predator vibes, man. I'm all about it.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah. All right, guys, I got to hop off here because I got to go grab the dinner thing. But
all right, brother.
You guys let me know if you guys want to stay on. I'm just going to mute.
I should probably hop off too.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump because I gotta go pick up my kid from work, and then I got an interview with I'm gonna be on Just Shelve It tonight with Jesse. So, yeah, we're gonna rock and roll there too. So
yeah, 6 o'clock your time, West.
Yeah, 6 o'clock my time, 9 o'clock your time. So yeah, hope to see you guys there, man. Great talking to you guys, man, as always, dude.
Absolutely.
Talking. Take care, everybody.
All right, guys. See ya.
Later.